There's one thing we need to understand, and that is that when you practice anything, you need to make it as easy as possible to get the result. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Have focus. Focus on the result that you want, not the sound of your guitar. What do I mean? Well, I once met a guy who had this way high action on his really fat strings. It was almost impossible to play because he had this idea that the fatter the strings, the fatter the sound. Cool. And the higher the action, the more the string can ring out without hitting the strings. So that's what I need to go for. Well, what about practicing? Because it's super hard to play. You should tune down 1/2 step on your practicing guitar. Tune down to E flat, A flat, D flat, and so on, all the way down. If you have a chromatic tuner, that's really easy. Then the strings are suddenly way softer than before. Then you need to pick lighter strings, like 0.09 on the high, 0.42 or whatever it is on the low. Tune down 1/2 step. Make sure the action is close to the place where the strings rattle, because it's going to make it easier to bend. You can bend in minor thirds with no effort. It's easier to push the string down towards the fretboard so you can practice for longer. You get less sore fingertips. Everything becomes easier. But Claus, I want to make it, I want to be good at guitar. So why make a guitar that's easier to play? Because results are everything. And when you're practicing alternate picking, don't use the big stubby Dunlop, which has an almost knife edge at the tip of it. Use a purple Dunlop 3mm, which has a round tip, because it makes it way easier to pick. It's much more forgiving when it comes to inaccuracies with regards to picking depth. Picking depth increases or decreases the resistance you feel at each stroke by 300 or 1,000%, just 1/10 of a millimeter. And we can't master that in the beginning, or in the late beginning, or the early, advanced stage. So we have to play. I did that a lot. So I might have played with this one, but I practiced with a Dunlop 3mm with a rounded tip. At every level, you have to do this, because results are everything. If you're not getting results, oh, the clock is ticking. When are we getting so demotivated so that we stop practicing? Or when are we just getting, lightly demotivated because it's a long time that you felt you had any progress practicing? We sometimes don't notice it. Most often, we just stop practicing as hard. Our passion kind of, our excitement kind of goes away a little bit. And we say, what became of that guitar dream? Because results are everything. If you're getting results, if you feel that, hey, I can do this, then you're going to be motivated on a much more consistent basis. So it's gold. It's the thing that guitar progress is made up of is results. Results is the guitar progress, but it's also what motivates you. So don't ever make any decisions that are focused on anything else than making it easier for you to practice and play. Also on an acoustic, even more important, if you're a beginner, you're playing a steel string or a tune down 1/2 step. Why aren't everybody doing that? But then, Claus, it will be much harder to play a real guitar that is tuned properly with proper strings that sound proper. Also, if you're playing a nylon string acoustic, like a Spanish guitar, you want to choose strings with low tension. It's a big thing in nylon strings. Low tension rather than high tension. Most classical players choose really high tension because it gives you a clearer sound. And, but go for low tension. That's what you want to do, results. And so once you start playing, let's say you've been practicing forever on an instrument with low tension, blah, 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 all these things I mentioned, and then suddenly you come onto a normal guitar with a little bit higher action, a little bit fatter strings, with a pick like this, then that stage you have to go through is short, because you can really get good at that instrument. And the little change in tension, it's little now. When you try to do the thing in the legato and the picking, it was a lot. It was a huge change to get into an instrument that was tuned down with lighter strings and a better pick and low action. But now that you're good at it, that you almost, you reach the level of mastery perhaps, doesn't matter. Has no difference at all. So that's the miracle of it. That people who focus on sound and I want this and this and that, they really shoot themselves in the foot. They're sabotaging their development enormously. right? Because the whole wheel, the whole circle of result, motivation, gets broken up, and you'll expand it's not good. It's no good. So stop doing it. Create a practice instrument. It's a gift to yourself that is really easy to play. And once you get to the other normal instrument, no problem, man, because now you're good suddenly. See you in the next video. Don't forget to comment with any experience you have in this area. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, all of these things. Whatever, right? See you.